Have you ever walked into a room only to forget why you went there? Or perhaps you've had a moment where the name of a close friend or family member slips your mind for a second. It can be frustrating, right? As we get older, it's common to experience occasional memory lapses, and while it's part of aging, we don't have to just accept it. The good news is, there are things we can do to keep our minds sharp and reduce those memory slips. In today's video, we're diving into some fun, brain-boosting puzzles that can actually help you strengthen your memory and keep your mind agile. Whether you're someone who enjoys a good challenge or you're just looking for a way to keep your brain engaged, these puzzles are not only beneficial but enjoyable too. They'll help you train your brain in a way that's both effective and entertaining. And trust me, you'll feel proud of yourself as you notice your memory improving. As we age, it's essential to give our brains the same kind of care and attention we give to the rest of our bodies. Think of it like exercising for your mind. Just as you'd stretch your muscles to keep them strong and flexible, you can stretch your brain with activities that challenge it. And don't worry, you don't need to be a genius or spend hours each day. Just a few minutes a day can make a world of difference. So, what can you do to prevent memory lapses? Well, there's good news. The first thing that can help is puzzles that involve your memory. These puzzles help improve not just your memory, but also your ability to focus and concentrate. Let's start with the first one, a classic favorite, crossword puzzles. Now, I know what you're thinking. Crosswords might sound like something only your grandparents would do. But hear me out. Crosswords are an excellent way to give your brain a workout. They force you to retrieve information you might not have thought about in a while. Each time you complete a crossword, your brain is making new connections between words and meanings. And it's this process of retrieval that strengthens your memory over time. You don't need to start with the hardest crosswords either. Begin with a simple one and work your way up. The more you practice, the more your vocabulary and recall abilities will improve. Plus, it's a really satisfying feeling when you finish a puzzle and see all the words come together. I bet you'll be amazed at how much you remember just by engaging with these little challenges. Another great puzzle that's fantastic for keeping your mind sharp is memory matching games. This is the kind of game where you flip over cards two at a time, trying to match up pairs. You may remember playing these games as a child, but they're just as useful now for strengthening memory. The beauty of memory matching games is that they are simple but effective. They engage your visual memory and improve your short-term recall. When you play these games, you're training your brain to focus, recognize patterns, and commit information to memory. And the best part? They're not boring at all. You can play them with a deck of cards, a game set, or even apps on your phone or tablet. The challenge is about getting better at remembering where things are and testing how much you can recall, which is a great way to keep your brain engaged. But here's something that might surprise you. It's not just about doing the puzzles. The act of making time for these brain activities is just as important. Creating a routine where you set aside a few minutes a day to challenge your brain is key. It's kind of like taking time each day to walk or stretch. The more consistent you are, the more benefits you'll reap. So, start by scheduling your puzzle time. It could be after breakfast or right before bed. Little by little, you'll notice improvements in your memory. Now that we've covered crossword puzzles and memory matching games, let's move on to something a bit different but equally effective, Sudoku. You've probably seen Sudoku puzzles everywhere, from newspapers to apps, and there's a reason for that. Sudoku isn't just a fun pastime. It's an excellent way to improve logical thinking, pattern recognition, and concentration. Here's how it works. You're given a grid with some numbers already filled in, and your job is to fill in the rest. Sounds easy, right? But don't be fooled. It gets more challenging as you progress. The beauty of Sudoku is that it requires you to use your brain's executive functions, such as working memory, attention to detail, and the ability to focus on one task at a time. As you practice, you'll see your mental stamina improve. And just like the other puzzles, It doesn't take long to get started. Just a few minutes a day can help keep your mind sharp and your memory intact. So, next time you see a Sudoku puzzle, give it a go. You might be surprised at how much fun it is, and at how your brain gets better at solving problems. We've already covered a few great puzzles that are excellent for boosting memory, and there are still more to come. But before we jump into the next one, let's think about this. Engaging in these puzzles regularly is a simple yet powerful tool to improve your memory. It's not about perfection. It's about the process. You're helping your brain form new connections, exercise recall, and keep your mental gears turning. Now that we've discussed crossword puzzles, memory matching games, and Sudoku, let's move on to something even more interactive. Stay tuned for the next segment, where we'll dive into more fun and effective brain-boosting activities. Now that we've explored some fun puzzles like crossword games, memory matching, and Sudoku, let's move on to some other fantastic brain exercises that will help keep your memory sharp. These next activities are just as engaging, and even better, they're a little different from what you might have expected. But trust me, they're all great for boosting memory and mental clarity. Let's talk about brain teasers. You've probably encountered these before. The kind of tricky questions or riddles that make you scratch your head and think outside the box. While they might seem like just a fun way to pass the time, brain teasers can actually do wonders for your cognitive health. These types of challenges require you to think critically and make connections that might not be immediately obvious. Whether it's figuring out a tricky math problem or solving a word riddle, brain teasers force your brain to engage in deep thinking, which is excellent for strengthening memory. For example, consider a classic brain teaser like this one. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? The answer? An echo. These kinds of puzzles don't just make you smile when you get the answer right. They encourage creative thinking and help enhance your problem-solving skills. Over time, playing these brain teaser games will sharpen your memory, improve your ability to process information quickly, and strengthen your focus. And the best part? You don't need any special tools or equipment for these. You can easily find brain teaser puzzles in books, on apps, or even online. Set aside a few minutes each day to try one or two, and watch as your cognitive skills improve in the process. Next, let's explore a very powerful tool for brain health that you may not have thought about: learning something new. This is a simple yet incredibly effective way to keep your brain sharp. The idea is that whenever you learn a new skill or subject, you're forcing your brain to process new information, make connections, and recall what you've learned. Whether it's a new language, a musical instrument, or a new hobby, this process helps create new neural pathways, which is great for memory retention. For instance, if you've always wanted to learn how to play the piano, now might be the perfect time to start. Even just a few lessons a week can stimulate your brain and improve your memory. You don't need to aim for perfection. It's the act of learning that matters most. By stretching your mental muscles in new and challenging ways, you're helping your brain stay youthful and alert. This could also be something simple, like learning to cook a new recipe, trying out knitting, or even practicing new computer skills. The more variety you introduce into your learning, the more your brain will benefit. It's like giving your mind a mini workout every time you try something new. And you'll be surprised at how much better you feel when you discover that you can learn and grow, no matter your age. Now, let's shift gears a little bit and look at something a bit more hands-on: puzzles that involve spatial reasoning. These are the kinds of activities that make you think about how things fit together or how they're positioned in space. Things like jigsaw puzzles, 3D puzzles, or even playing with building blocks can significantly improve your spatial memory and your ability to visualize patterns. Why are spatial puzzles important for memory? Well, they require you to use your visual and memory recall abilities simultaneously. When you put together a jigsaw puzzle, for example, you're using your memory to remember what pieces go where, and you're also making decisions based on the visual clues you have. Over time, this strengthens your ability to visualize and recall shapes, patterns, and spatial relationships. And don't think you have to go big either. Start with a small jigsaw puzzle and gradually work your way up to larger ones. You can even look for 3D puzzles or try other kinds of activities that require you to manipulate objects in space. It's not just fun, it's helping to boost your brain power. So, don't be afraid to challenge yourself with a puzzle or two. They're a wonderful and low-stress way to keep your mind active and your memory sharp. By now, you can see that there are a variety of activities you can do each day to keep your memory in tip-top shape. From brain teasers that make you think outside the box, to learning new things that challenge your brain in creative ways, and even the fun of putting together puzzles that require visual and spatial skills, there's something here for everyone. So, we've covered a few great ideas already, but now let's dive into an activity that might surprise you. Stay with me, because this one can be a game changer when it comes to boosting memory. Now that we've covered some fantastic puzzles and activities like crossword games, Sudoku, memory matching games, brain teasers, and spatial reasoning exercises, there's one more important brain-boosting activity I want to share with you. It's something that might sound a bit unconventional, but it's incredibly effective, and that is storytelling. You might be wondering, how can telling stories possibly help with memory? Well, let me explain. Storytelling is a wonderful way to engage your brain in a way that activates multiple areas of memory and cognitive function. When you tell a story, you are not only recalling details, but you're also organizing them in a way that makes sense, adding emotions, and constructing a narrative. This process works as a kind of mental exercise that strengthens your memory by helping you organize and connect information. You can start simple, perhaps by retelling a story from your past, or even creating a story about your day. The goal isn't to write a novel, but to engage your brain in recalling and structuring information. As you practice, your ability to remember and organize your thoughts improves, and you may even find that your creativity and attention to detail start to improve as well. Plus, storytelling can be incredibly fun, and it helps you connect with others, whether you're sharing a story with family or friends. You don't have to be an expert. Just take a moment to remember a time that made you happy, a funny experience, or a memorable event, and begin to weave those details into a narrative. The more you practice telling stories, the better you'll become at recalling details and improving your memory. And the best part? You get to share your personal experiences with others, which can be deeply rewarding. Now, if you're looking for a quick and simple way to incorporate storytelling into your daily life, consider keeping a journal. Writing down your thoughts and experiences every day doesn't just help you remember things. It also boosts your creativity and strengthens your ability to process and recall information. By setting aside time each day to reflect and write about what's happening in your life, you're training your brain to be more active and more connected with your memory. So, whether you're telling stories aloud or writing them down, this activity is an excellent way to engage your mind and work on your memory in a way that feels natural and enjoyable. We've covered so many fun and effective strategies for keeping your brain sharp, but before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Consistency is key. Just like any exercise or healthy habit, the more consistent you are with these activities, the more you'll see improvement. You don't need to do all of these things every day, but just setting aside some time each day for a brain-boosting activity will add up over time. Remember, it's not about making huge changes all at once. Little steps go a long way. Whether it's taking a few minutes to do a crossword puzzle, try a brain teaser, learn a new skill, or tell a story, every small effort helps keep your brain healthy, active, and engaged. I want you to know that it's never too late to start, and the more you engage with these activities, the better you'll feel. It's all about making your mental well-being a priority and having fun while doing it. So, here's my encouragement to you. Keep challenging yourself, keep having fun with these activities, and remember that your brain is just like any other part of your body. It needs exercise to stay strong. If you found any of these activities helpful or you've already tried them, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're keeping your memory sharp. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips and tricks to help you live your best life, no matter your age. Here's to keeping our minds sharp, our memories clear, and living life to the fullest at any age. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next video.